If you cannot command your mind, then someone else will. Discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect. Many people wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect environment, the perfect energy. But a true practitioner does not wait. He creates. Discipline is the art of honoring your decisions long after your mood has changed. It is the ability to say, I will move forward even when the path feels heavy. When you master discipline, you stop fighting life and life begins to obey you. Your emotions become stable, your habits become structured, your purpose becomes clear, and the chaos inside you turns into a quiet, powerful force. Today, let us walk through the 10 essential keys to mastering true discipline, the kind of discipline that strengthens your character, sharpens your mind, and gives you control over your life now, not tomorrow. Number 1. Discipline is self-leadership. Before you can lead a team, a family, or a community, you must first learn the rarest and most sacred form of leadership, self-leadership. This is the foundation upon which every great life is built. The person who cannot lead himself becomes a follower of circumstances, emotions, and impulses. But the person who can guide his own mind calmly, consistently, and consciously becomes unstoppable. Self-leadership begins the moment you stop negotiating with your excuses. It begins the moment you recognize that the voice inside you has two tones, one that seeks comfort and one that seeks growth. The undisciplined mind listens to the voice of comfort. The disciplined mind listens to the voice of purpose. You must train your inner world to follow the voice that elevates you, not the one that limits you. Imagine your mind as a group of wild horses. Each horse represents your emotions, desires, impulses, fears, and habits. If you do not hold the reins, the horses will run in every direction, pulling you from one impulse to another, never allowing you to move forward with intention. Discipline is the act of taking the reins into your own hands. It is not about force, it is about direction. It is about clarity. It is about choosing the destination of your life and guiding yourself toward it step by step. A self-led individual does not wait for motivation. A self-led individual does not wait for external validation. A self-led individual does not collapse under pressure because his stability comes from within. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a posture, an inner stillness that allows you to command yourself with respect, not fear. Every disciplined action is a vote for the person you want to become. When you wake up early, even when you feel tired, you cast a vote. When you eat with awareness instead of craving, you cast a vote. When you speak with integrity, you cast a vote. When you choose your responsibilities over your comfort, you cast a vote. These small votes accumulate. They shape your identity. They turn your inner voice into a trustworthy guide, one that you can rely on in difficulty, chaos, or uncertainty. This is why self-leadership is so powerful. The moment you learn to lead yourself, the world can no longer manipulate you. You stop being controlled by urges. You stop being paralyzed by fear. You stop being overwhelmed by external noise. You begin to live with intention. You begin to act with clarity. You begin to speak with purpose. You begin to move with inner authority. A disciplined person walks differently. There is a quiet confidence, a grounded presence, a sense of alignment. People can feel it. They can sense a person who has conquered himself. Mastering discipline is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming responsible for your mind, your thoughts, your reactions, your habits, your direction. True freedom does not come from doing whatever you want. True freedom comes from the ability to guide yourself consciously without becoming a prisoner of impulses. This is self-leadership. This is discipline. This is the beginning of a powerful life. Number 2, control your environment, control your life. There is a truth most people ignore. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. A seed, no matter how powerful its potential, cannot grow in the wrong soil. In the same way, your discipline cannot grow in an environment that constantly weakens you. Many people blame themselves for lacking discipline, not realizing they are fighting battles they never had to fight. Before you judge your strength, study your surroundings. Before you blame your mind, look at what your mind is exposed to every day. Your environment is not just the physical space around you. It is the people you allow into your life. It is the content you consume. It is the habits that surround you. It is the energy in your room, your home, your workplace, your digital world, your emotional world. Your environment shapes you silently. Your environment shapes you daily. Your environment shapes you without asking for permission. This is why discipline begins with awareness. Where you place yourself determines what grows inside you. If you sit among people who complain, you will learn the language of negativity. If you sit among people who sharpen themselves, you will learn the language of growth. If your room is cluttered, your mind becomes cluttered. If your digital world is full of distractions, your focus becomes scattered. If your days are filled with noise, your inner voice becomes hard to hear. A true practitioner does not underestimate the power of surroundings. He designs them with intention. Control your environment, and suddenly discipline becomes natural, not a struggle. Think of a river. If the riverbed is shaped correctly, the water flows effortlessly in the right direction. Your environment is your riverbed. It shapes the flow of your actions. You cannot pour discipline into a life filled with hidden traps and expect success. You must remove the traps before you begin the journey. Remove the distractions that steal your time. Remove the people who drain your energy. Remove the habits that weaken your spirit. Remove the noise that buries your purpose. Then create what you need. Create a peaceful corner where you can train your mind. Create a workspace that supports your mission. Create a digital environment that aligns with your goals. Create routines that protect your mental clarity. When your environment supports you, discipline becomes effortless. Your actions flow naturally. Your decisions become easier. Your focus becomes sharper. Your confidence grows. A strong environment does not force you to become disciplined. It allows you to become disciplined. It is not about isolating yourself from life. It is about removing what weakens you and multiplying what strengthens you. Control your environment, even slightly, and your life begins to change. Control it fully, and your entire destiny shifts direction. Remember this: you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your surroundings. So create surroundings that lift you, shape you, and support the person you are becoming. Control your environment, and you control the path. Control the path, and you control your life. Number 3, win the first hour of the day. The first hour of your day is not just time, it is a spiritual doorway, a silent battlefield, a sacred opportunity. How you enter this hour determines how you walk through the rest of your life. Most people wake up reacting to noise, to stress, to messages, to problems. They open their eyes and immediately hand their mind to the world. But a disciplined practitioner wakes up creating. He enters the first hour with intention, not with chaos. He chooses stillness before the world chooses him. Why is the first hour so powerful? Because it is the only time of the day when your mind is untouched, unshaped, uninfluenced, uncontaminated. In that brief window, your inner world is soft like clay, and whatever you touch, whatever you think, whatever you feed yourself, will shape your entire day. When you win the first hour, you win the hours that follow. This hour teaches your mind one of two truths: either you control the day, or the day controls you. If your first hour is filled with distraction, rushing, noise, and mental clutter, you carry this energy into everything you do. But if your first hour is slow, intentional, quiet, and disciplined, you carry that energy forward instead. Calmness, clarity, presence, direction. Winning the first hour is not about achieving something dramatic. It is about building the foundation of a mentally strong life. A warrior does not begin the day by reacting. A warrior begins the day by realigning with breath, realigning with purpose, realigning with direction, realigning with discipline. This hour is your mental training ground. When you stretch your body, you awaken your energy. When you sit in silence, you awaken your awareness. When you write your intention, you awaken your direction. When you move your body, you awaken your strength. When you breathe consciously, you awaken your control. Every act in this hour is a message to your mind, I am leading today. When you decide your first action, the rest of your actions align themselves. Your impulses weaken, your clarity strengthens, your emotions settle, your focus sharpens, your discipline deepens. The first hour is where identity is built. If you begin your day with intention, you become a person of intention. If you begin with discipline, you become a person of discipline. If you begin with peace, you become a vessel of peace. This is why so many ancient traditions, martial arts lineages, monks, and masters start the day before sunrise. Because the hour before the world wakes is the hour when your soul can finally speak. Ask yourself, what energy am I giving to my first hour? What kind of person am I becoming because of it? Your life changes the moment this hour changes. If you win this hour, you win your mood. If you win your mood, you win your choices. If you win your choices, you win your habits. If you win your habits, you win your life. The first hour is not the start of your day, it is the start of your destiny. Win it, and you win yourself. Number 4, remove temptations, don't fight them. Discipline is often misunderstood as resistance, as if the strength of your will alone can overpower every desire, every impulse, every weakness. But this is a lie that exhausts the mind and destroys the spirit. True mastery does not fight temptations. True mastery removes them entirely. Consider this: a warrior does not challenge every enemy that approaches. He does not exhaust himself by confronting every threat. He eliminates the threat before it reaches him. In the same way, you must learn to eliminate the distractions, habits, and people that drain your energy before they even have the chance to seduce your mind. Temptations are like sparks. If you stay near them, no matter how strong your will, eventually they will ignite a fire. You cannot rely solely on self-control. Self-control alone is a weak soldier when facing a storm. You must build your environment, your habits, and your routines so that these sparks never touch your energy. Remove the junk that clutters your mind, the news that feeds anxiety, the social media that steals focus, the endless chatter that dilutes your presence. Remove the people who drain your energy or glorify laziness. Remove the habits that weaken your body, your mind, and your purpose. Do not challenge your weaknesses. Avoid them, sidestep them. The master does not wrestle the wind, he adjusts the sail to harness it. Every time you allow temptation to remain within reach, you are gambling with your future self. Every time you say, I will resist later, you are giving power to forces that do not care about your goals. Every compromise, no matter how small, slowly erodes your integrity, your focus, and your discipline. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is protection. It protects your mind from unnecessary battles. It protects your energy from unnecessary leaks, and it protects your soul. The path of least resistance is not weakness, it is wisdom. Remove the temptation, and the battle is already won. Control your inputs, and your outputs will follow. Control your environment, and your actions will naturally align with your purpose. Every small decision to eliminate temptation compounds over time. Each removed distraction is a vote for your future self. Each avoided weakness strengthens your identity. And when you consistently remove what does not serve you, you stop relying on willpower alone, and your life begins to run on effortless discipline. The warrior's life is not about constant struggle. It is about strategic avoidance, about aligning circumstances so that strength flows naturally, without friction. Ask yourself, what in my life tempts me to stray from my path? What can I remove today so my mind is free to focus on what truly matters? When you remove temptation, you do not feel deprived, you feel liberated, you reclaim control, you reclaim your power. Discipline, then, is not about fighting every desire. It is about shaping the battlefield before the battle begins. It is about arranging your life so that the highest version of yourself emerges naturally every single day. Master this principle, and the mind that once wavered in weakness becomes unshakable in strength. The battle is already won, not in the moment of resistance, but in the wisdom to remove temptation before it touches you. Number 5, build rituals that shape your identity. Discipline is not an act, it is an identity. It is not something you borrow for a moment, it is something you embody for a lifetime. An identity is not formed by chance, it is forged by ritual. Rituals are the small, repeated actions that silently shape who you are. They are not glamorous. They are not about external recognition. They are private agreements with yourself, contracts written in the quiet of your mind and the stillness of your body. Every morning you rise at a consistent hour. Every day you nourish your body intentionally. Every moment you act with purpose. These are rituals. They whisper to your mind, this is who you are. If you want to become disciplined, you cannot merely try to be disciplined. Trying is fragile. Trying depends on mood, energy, or willpower, all of which are fleeting. Instead, you become disciplined by practicing rituals that make discipline inevitable. Imagine a blacksmith hammering metal over and over again. Each strike seems small, almost meaningless, but after months, years, decades, the metal becomes strong, unbreakable, and perfectly shaped. This is what rituals do to your identity. Each small action compounds silently, forging a mind, body, and character that cannot be shaken by fleeting desires or external chaos. The ritual is the bridge between who you are today and who you are becoming. If your rituals are weak, your identity remains fragile. If your rituals are strong, your identity becomes unshakable. Rituals are also anchors in a world of chaos. When life pulls you in 1,000 directions, your rituals pull you back to yourself. A simple morning practice, a mindful pause before work, deliberate training, quiet reflection, these are not just habits. They are the roots of your life, grounding you in purpose, discipline, and clarity. Do not underestimate the subtle power of repetition. The person who writes daily, even when tired, is building the mind of a scholar. The person who trains daily, even when weak, is building the body of a warrior. The person who meditates daily, even when distracted, is building the soul of a master. Your identity emerges naturally from what you do consistently, not what you hope for, not what you dream about. The question is not, am I disciplined? The question is, do I honor my rituals every day without fail? Rituals also protect against the chaos of the world. They provide structure when life is unpredictable, focus when the mind is scattered, and strength when the spirit is tested. Remember, identity is silent. It is not announced, it is proven through action, and the actions that matter most are repeated, consistent, and intentional. If you want to transform your life, do not seek a miracle once. Do not chase motivation once. Do not rely on willpower once. Build rituals, honor them daily. Let them define you. When rituals shape your identity, discipline is no longer a struggle, it becomes your nature. It becomes effortless. It becomes inevitable. It becomes who you are. And the world cannot take this away because identity forged in ritual is unshakable, unbroken, and eternal. Number 6, master emotional stability. Discipline is not merely the mastery of action, it is the mastery of the mind, and the mind, most of all, is shaped by its emotions. Emotions are powerful. They are the invisible rivers that guide our thoughts, decisions, and actions. Yet most people live as if they are powerless against these currents, tossed by anger, fear, desire, and doubt. A truly disciplined person understands one eternal truth: you cannot control the world, but you can control your response to it. Emotional stability is not about suppressing feelings. It is not about pretending to be calm when inside you are raging. It is about seeing emotions clearly, acknowledging them, and choosing the path of deliberate action instead of reaction. The undisciplined mind is a storm. Every insult, every setback, every challenge becomes a wave that drives the ship off course. The disciplined mind is like a deep lake. The storm may rage on the surface, but beneath, the water remains calm and unshaken. When you master your emotions, you free yourself from being manipulated by external circumstances. You no longer give power to anger, jealousy, or fear. You no longer collapse under criticism or praise. You act with clarity because your mind is no longer a battlefield, it is a sanctuary. This mastery is not born overnight. It grows slowly, quietly, through deliberate practice. Observe your feelings without judgment. Breathe through discomfort instead of fleeing from it. Pause before you react, even when provoked. Anchor yourself in purpose rather than impulse. Every time you practice this, you are training your inner army. Every pause is a drill. Every breath is a sword. Every deliberate choice over reaction strengthens the fortress of your mind. Mastering emotional stability does more than protect you, it empowers you. It allows you to make decisions that honor your long-term goals instead of your fleeting impulses. It allows you to respond with wisdom when others act with chaos. It allows you to remain steadfast when the world tests your patience, your integrity, your resolve. Imagine a river flowing through mountains. Even if rocks fall into it, even if storms strike its banks, the river continues forward, shaping the landscape with quiet power. This is the way of emotional mastery. It is neither violent nor rigid. It is consistent, resilient, and unstoppable. Discipline without emotional stability is fragile. Strength without control becomes destructive. But when you merge action with emotional mastery, you become unshakable. Ask yourself, when life challenges me, do I react or do I respond? When anger rises, do I surrender or do I observe? When fear whispers, do I flee or do I stand? Every answer trains the mind. Every practice reinforces the self. And over time, you realize that the external chaos no longer dictates the internal peace. This is the essence of self-mastery. This is the strength of a warrior. This is the calm at the center of your storm. Master your emotions, and you do not just survive life, you command it. Number 7. Practice small daily challenges. Discipline is often imagined as grand gestures, monumental feats, or heroic battles. But true mastery is built quietly, in the small repeated acts that most people overlook. The path of greatness is forged not in one moment of glory, but in daily challenges that test your will, your patience, and your resolve. Every small challenge is a brick, every repeated action is mortar, and over time, a fortress of discipline rises strong, unshakable, eternal. Do not underestimate the power of the micro. A cold shower in the morning is more than physical discomfort, it is a lesson in courage. A disciplined posture throughout the day is more than health, it is a declaration of presence. 5 minutes of meditation or focus, repeated daily, is more than peace, it is training the mind to obey itself. The undisciplined mind seeks shortcuts. It avoids discomfort. The disciplined mind understands that growth is uncomfortable, and comfort is the enemy of strength. Small challenges are the rehearsal for life's larger battles. If you cannot say yes to discomfort in minor ways, you will fail when life demands sacrifice on a massive scale. If you cannot resist one small temptation today, you will be swayed by greater ones tomorrow. If you cannot endure small discipline in private, you cannot embody greatness in public. Every morning, every task, every deliberate choice is an opportunity to train your inner warrior. The mind grows sharper. The body grows stronger. The soul grows resilient. These daily challenges do not require grandeur. They require consistency and awareness. Ask yourself, can I wake up early even when the world is silent and my bed is warm? Can I complete one task fully before moving to the next, even if I feel bored or restless? Can I hold my tongue when provoked, practice patience when ignored, and remain calm when criticized? Can I take one small step today that strengthens my mind, body, or character, even when no one is watching? This is the essence of disciplined living, micro-victories that accumulate into a life of mastery. Over time, these small challenges shape identity. The person who consistently does what is hard becomes a person of will, The person who consistently chooses discomfort over ease becomes unshakable in the face of trials. The person who honors small commitments becomes capable of honoring the greatest ones. Remember, discipline is not a sudden transformation. It is the sum of small, repeated acts of courage, focus, and restraint. Every day, your life asks, who will you choose to be? And the answer lies not in grand declarations, but in small daily challenges that test the warrior within. Master the small, and the large will bow before you. Train the minor, and the major becomes effortless. Practice the daily challenge, and you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the master of your destiny. Number 8, return to the path every time you fall. No path to mastery is without stumbles. No journey toward greatness is without moments of weakness, failure, or doubt. Every person who has ever achieved true discipline has fallen many times. The difference is not in never falling, but in choosing to rise every time. Falling is inevitable. The mind will resist, the body will tire, the world will test you. But falling is not defeat. Falling is feedback. It is life's quiet lesson, showing you where your habits, your focus, or your intentions need strengthening. Too many people make one mistake and surrender. Too many people miss a single step and abandon the path. But mastery does not reward perfection. It rewards persistence. It honors those who return again and again, regardless of how far they have slipped. Returning to the path is an act of courage. It requires humility to admit the fall. It requires awareness to understand the cause. It requires will to step forward despite fear of failure. The disciplined mind does not dwell on shame or guilt. It learns, it adapts, it moves. It treats every fall as a teacher, every setback as a guidepost, every failure as a necessary part of becoming stronger. Consider a bamboo in the storm. The wind bends it to the ground. It touches the earth, feels the weight, and yet in time it rises again, taller and more resilient than before. This is the essence of disciplined living. Flexibility without surrender, resilience without bitterness, rising without hesitation. Falling tests the foundations of your identity. If your discipline depends on comfort, praise, or momentum, the first setback will destroy it. But if your discipline is forged in purpose, habit, and unwavering self-leadership, every fall becomes a stepping stone. Ask yourself, when I fail, do I stay down or do I rise with intention? When life knocks me back, do I surrender to despair or do I recommit to my path? When I stray from my habits, do I abandon myself or do I return with humility and strength? Returning to the path is also an act of self-respect. It says, I honor my commitment to myself. I honor the life I am building. I will not allow a single moment of weakness to define me. Every fall carries wisdom. Every return carries power. Every repetition builds identity. No journey is linear. No warrior walks without scars. But the one who rises each time becomes unstoppable. The one who returns each time becomes the master of his destiny. Remember, the path is not defined by how many times you fall, but by how many times you rise and step forward with discipline, courage, and clarity. Fall, rise, return, repeat. This is the rhythm of mastery. This is the heartbeat of a disciplined life. This is the warrior's way. Number 9, choose long-term peace over short-term pleasure. The human mind is easily seduced by comfort, desire, and instant gratification. A piece of sweet food, a moment of distraction, a fleeting escape from discomfort, these small pleasures call to us like whispers in the dark. They promise happiness, but they deliver weakness. They offer escape, but they steal freedom. Discipline is the ability to see beyond the illusion of immediate reward. It is the wisdom to understand that what feels good in the moment can cost your peace, your purpose, your life. Short-term pleasure is loud. It shouts, it seduces, it distracts. Long-term peace is quiet. It whispers, it waits, it grows silently. Most people follow the loud voice, mistaking pleasure for happiness, comfort for success, avoidance for freedom. But the disciplined mind hears the quiet call of peace. It sacrifices temporary ease to protect the integrity of the whole life. Every choice between pleasure and discipline is a vote. Every decision you make today shapes the person you will become tomorrow. When you choose immediate comfort, you weaken your mind, body, and spirit. When you choose long-term peace, you strengthen your identity, fortify your will, and honor your purpose. Consider the path of the warrior. The warrior does not rest when training is uncomfortable. The warrior does not eat what is convenient. The warrior does not surrender to fleeting desire. He chooses the path that leads to mastery, even when it demands patience, restraint, and sacrifice. This principle applies to every area of life. Emotionally, choose calm reflection over explosive reaction. Physically, choose nourishing discipline over indulgent cravings. Mentally, choose focused learning over distracted entertainment. Spiritually, choose integrity over convenience, purpose over fleeting applause. Peace is not found in the absence of struggle. Peace is the result of deliberate choice. Peace is the reward of resisting what weakens you in the present to strengthen yourself in the future. Ask yourself, am I willing to sacrifice a small moment of comfort to build a life of freedom? Am I willing to endure discipline today so I can walk tomorrow with confidence? Am I willing to say no to fleeting pleasure to honor the long-term harmony of my mind, body, and soul? When you choose long-term peace consistently, life itself begins to align. You stop being tossed by impulses, opinions, or chaos. You become grounded in purpose, strength, and clarity. Your actions are deliberate. Your energy is protected. Your identity is unshakable. Discipline is not deprivation, it is liberation. It is the courage to postpone desire for a higher truth. It is the wisdom to endure the present for the sake of a future that honors your essence. Every time you resist temptation and choose long-term peace, you are sculpting yourself into the person you were meant to become. Every sacrifice today is a victory tomorrow. Every moment of restraint is a step closer to freedom. Long-term peace is not easy. It asks for patience, endurance, and courage. But those who master this principle become invincible. They are calm in chaos. They are clear in confusion. They are disciplined in a world of distraction. Choose wisely. Choose consistently. Choose peace over pleasure. Choose purpose over impulse. Choose the life that your future self will thank you for. Number 10, guard your energy with boundary. Discipline is not only about what you do, it is also about what you allow into your life. Energy is the currency of action, thought, and presence. And like any precious resource, it must be guarded with care. Most people give their energy away freely. They allow distractions, negativity, and toxic influences to drain them. They overcommit, overextend, and overexpose themselves. And then they wonder why discipline feels impossible, why focus is lost, why strength is fleeting. Boundaries are the unseen walls that protect your inner world. They are not walls of fear, anger, or avoidance. They are walls of wisdom, self-respect, and clarity. To guard your energy is to choose where your attention goes. It is to choose who can influence your mind. It is to choose what habits, rituals, and relationships you allow into your life. Every yes you give has a cost. Every no you speak is an investment in your strength. The disciplined mind understands this truth. You cannot serve every demand. You cannot please every person. You cannot chase every opportunity without losing yourself. To protect your power, you must draw lines. To protect your focus, you must cut what does not serve your purpose. To protect your spirit, you must remove the people, situations, and distractions that deplete it. Boundaries are not weakness. They are strength. They are courage. They are the armor of a life dedicated to mastery. Every day, assess your life with clarity. Which relationships nourish my energy? Which relationships drain my strength? Which habits empower me? Which habits distract me? Where am I giving my time and attention to that is not aligned with my purpose? Guarding your energy is also an act of self-love. It is saying, I am worth the discipline it takes to protect myself. I am worth the clarity that comes from boundaries. I am worth the focus it demands to live a purposeful life. A warrior knows that unchecked energy leads to chaos. A master knows that disciplined energy leads to power. When you protect your energy, your thoughts sharpen, your decisions strengthen, and your actions gain precision. Boundaries allow you to act from strength rather than reaction. They allow you to say yes to what matters and no to what distracts. They allow your mind to remain calm, your focus unbroken, and your discipline unshakable. Remember, energy is finite. Every interaction, every habit, every decision either strengthens or weakens it. Be deliberate, be selective, be sovereign. Guarding your energy is not a one-time act. It is a continuous practice, a lifelong discipline. It is the last silent frontier of mastery. When you protect your energy with boundaries, you honor yourself. When you honor yourself, the world begins to respect you. When the world respects your boundaries, your life flows with purpose, clarity, and power. Discipline is not only about action. Discipline is about what you allow to reach your mind, your body, and your spirit. Guard your energy, protect your boundaries, and you will discover a freedom, focus, and strength that cannot be taken from you. True discipline is not an external act. It is the quiet mastery of your mind, your energy, and your choices. It is the daily commitment to self-leadership, emotional stability, and purposeful living. It is the courage to rise every time you fall, the wisdom to remove what weakens you, and the clarity to choose long-term peace over short-term comfort. Discipline is not struggle, it is freedom. It is not limitation, it is empowerment. It is not punishment, it is self-respect. Step onto this path. Lead yourself first. Shape your identity through ritual, reflection, and resilience. Guard your energy. Control your mind. Honor your purpose. The moment you do this, life ceases to control you. You walk with clarity. You act with precision. You live as the master of your own destiny. This is true discipline. This is Shihengi's path. This is how you control your life now